I'm joined on the set by Alison Sargent to talk a bit more about the papers today. Hi, Alison.
Hi, Jeannie.
You're going to start, of course, in the UK, where papers keep talking about Brexit.
That's right, Jeannie. After the Prime Minister Theresa May yesterday requested that 3-month delay on Brexit from the EU, making this request as she heads to today's summit, Donald Tusk has already given a response, issuing Theresa May the ultimatum that Europe will give her extension if she can get her deal approved, which is, of course, a tricky task since it's already been soundly rejected 2 times. It all brings the UK teetering on a no-deal knife edge. That's according to the tabloid The Daily Mail on their front page today. They write that Theresa May even hinted that she'd rather leave with a no deal than give politicians more time to argue. And in this next cartoon we're going to see from The Times, we see Theresa May there getting rather tempted by hardline Brexiteers to take a toke of the no-deal Brexit, although the cartoonist Peter Brooks does warn that it causes delusions and hallucinations.
Now, the British Prime Minister gave an address Wednesday night, and in that address she said that Britain should blame Parliament for the situation, not her.
That's right, the old Brexit blame game. That's what newspaper The Eye is calling it on their front page today. In that speech, Theresa May accused the Parliament of thwarting the people and said that she, in contrast, is on the people's side. Most papers are not on Theresa May's side, however. The Guardian writes in their editorial that May essentially had 2 options. She could ask for a short delay or a longer delay. For the papers, she chose the wrong one, a short 3-month delay, in fearful deference to the hardliners in her party. Now, according to The Guardian, all of Theresa May's political capital has been spent. She has no allies left at home or abroad. And indeed, in this cartoon from Bob Moran in The Telegraph, we see European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker there. Not a very flattering image of him. He is disappointed by Theresa May's proposal of an extension to June 30th. He's telling her everyone would prefer the end of May. The end, of course, not just of the month of May, but also the end of Theresa May.
All right, Alison, let's move now to another country where many are hoping to see the end of their leader. That's Algeria, where the president's own party now says that they support the ongoing protests to end the presidency.
That's right. They say that they support these protesters, but they said this while still continuing to support the president's call for dialogue. President Bouteflika's FLN party issued this statement after there was a division that emerged within his ruling coalition. Some parties want Bouteflika to step down, while the FLN has continued to support his continuing presidency. Algerian paper El Watan talks about chaos at the top, and we see on their front page their defectors sneaking out of the presidential palace to go and join protesters in the street. The cartoonist Hik from El Watan doesn't think much of this sudden declaration of support from the FLN. The caption on this cartoon reads, "The FLN by the people's side." As we can see there, though, they are by the people's side so that they can steal right out of their pockets, and that protester there does not look very impressed.
Let's move now to Australia, where a photo of a female athlete has caused quite a bit of controversy.
That's right, Jeannie, and the photo itself is not actually controversial. You can see it here in the New York Post. This is Australian rules football player Taylor Harris scoring a goal in a game. What's controversial is the fact that the Australian Football Association removed this photo from their TV station's website after it was flooded by sexist and vulgar comments. Now, many people, including the athlete herself, who actually retweeted this photo afterwards, pointed out that the response should not have been to take down the photo, but rather to get rid of those comments. The AFL did apologize and ultimately put the picture back up. They are now declaring war on trolls, as we read on the front page of the Herald Sun today. This is making the front pages in Australia. The AFL, they say, will be seeking to unmask anonymous trolls and punish them, potentially even banning them from attending football games. The paper said that this is really a watershed moment for Australian sports and that it's about time.
All right, let's wrap up now with the story, something completely different. Let's wrap up now with the story of a dead turtle that's been embalmed and placed in a temple in Vietnam.
That's right. Now, this is not just any turtle, Jeannie. This turtle is known as great-grandfather turtle. The New York Times reports that he was a symbol of longevity and also resistance to China. Now, that's because of the legend behind this turtle, because, of course, Jeannie, there is a legend behind the turtle. It goes back to the 15th century when a nationalist hero borrowed a magic sword and used it to drive out Chinese forces. He then returned it to this turtle that had surfaced in a lake. A shrine was then built on an island in that lake, which was dubbed the Lake of the Returned Sword. And this turtle died there back in 2016. His death was also a big loss for the animal kingdom. He's actually was one of the last remaining giant soft-shell turtles of his kind. Now only 4 of them are left in the world. The New York Times writes that great-grandfather Turtle joins an elite club of leaders that have been embalmed and put on display by communist regimes, including Lenin, Mao, and Vietnam's own Ho Chi Minh.
Indeed. Allison, thank you for that. Allison Sargent there with that look at the press review today. Don't forget, you can get a closer look at the press review on our website. The address is france24.com.